All right, good morning. Dave Knight here from 123 Day Trade. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. Today is June 1st. We've made it to June safely. And I am in step 2. Day 1, step 2. Decided to wait till June 1st. So we are actually was finishing up my spreadsheet here and get ready to print it. So what I'm looking at right now, last thing I do is find out where the volume is, and I look top down. So that's what we're going to do. We set up the spreadsheet, look at the, actually let's go ahead and set up the 1/2 P versus the 1/2 R, excuse me, versus 3P. 3P today is 113. So that'll be our initial target right now on the trade that we take. And 1/2 R is 15 right now. I don't like that though. We'll stick to 11. Not a huge fan of having a big stop. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Might as well move on. Wait for another trade. Because you just don't have a lot of room in the 30K account to be taking a big stop. Right now, to take a 1R stop, honestly, I need to be able to take it at 31 ticks right now. And that would mean that 2 trades would put me over 50 ticks, and I would lose the step 2. So I got to, yeah, it's just, that's the biggest thing that you got going against you at Top Step Traders. You have to, ideally, if I was trading with a futures account, it's real money, and had enough capital to hold it, I would need to, the target, the stop would be 31 and the target would be 113. That's kind of how you would set up. You just can't afford to do that once it gets so far out here at Top Step Trader, because you only have 50 ticks to play with. So you end up having only one trade, or you can try to work it in. I mean, a lot of times you'll see they'll take a less than 11 stop. I mean, you know, sometimes I'm only taking 2, 3, 4 ticks of a stop. A lot of times when the market's moving in my favor, I'll move my stop in favor of it, trying to take as little as I can. All right, so let's see here. We got some blues and reds right through here at 3 in the morning. Looks about it, right? Yeah. So that's it. So there's our morning right there. We have 2 blues, 2 reds. Let's plug them in, see what we get. Look, obviously it looks like the red's higher than, I mean, the blue's higher than the red right now. 1284. We want to talk about one significant point here in a minute. 3:36. We're coming up to the 3:36 a.m. We're getting very close to the 50% retracement. What's the other blue? 8:34. That's at 4:30 in the morning. And we have 2 reds to offset the blues right there. 893. Both 336 and 573. So it favors the blue. I'll pull that across here in a second. So it's favoring the blue, or the short side, early, 652. But we want to talk about one significant thing here. It's coming up, and we're within range of striking it. Our high right now is 35.90, I believe is the high. Yeah, 35.90. Low is 34.76. So it's a little over $1 movement, looks like. But the significant point I want to talk about, we're working top down, right? Right there at 50%. Let me pull this over so maybe you can see a little bit better. Where did we go from there to there? All right. So here is the range that we're talking about. So this is the top of range before the first where it started coming down here. And this is the bottom of range down here on this contract. Let's hold the GAN fan on there. It's holding. We'll keep those trend lines on there. Seem to be working as well. But the significant point that we want to talk about is right here. It's 36.12. It's the 50% retracement. It's you can see it better if I do it this way. Here's your 50% retracement. This is as high as we've got today. So it has not been able to get to it yet. But you can look at the daily chart over here. This is from March 11th. So March 11th we got above it. And we've sold off of it since. So this is, obviously there'll be some supply up here. Alright, so let's go ahead and pause here. Alright, so we see where possibly go on the day chart and see some form. That's basically where R1 is located as well today. R1 is at 3661. Here's where we're trading currently before the open. The 8 a.m. open at that I start trading. Former open outcry of the crude oil market. So 36.12, roughly 36.61. Those are up targets right now that we could see some supply in the market coming in. All right, so let's move down to the hourly chart. There's 100% extension right there. Let's hold that on the hourly chart here. I want to form one more though. Alright, we'll keep those on two levels that we could possibly run to. Into the gap that we talked about before. Let's go back and look at that on the daily chart. Here's your gap. Running into the gap. Definitely be some supply in there somewhere. So historically, can you believe that we've come off the lows as far and as fast as we've come off of them? I mean, we went down here. What's this low of is that May 27th? This is the hourly chart. Well, let's move over to the dailies. It's even more impressive when you look at it on the day, how far we've moved. April 21st to June 1st, look how far we've moved. It's pretty impressive when you look at it from that way. We have another 50% retracement inside this, right? If this would be the top, and wanted to retrace back, which I believe is more apt to do here. You have a 50% retracement coming back to $21.40 right now. Let's hold that on there. Let's get rid of it. Let's see here. We know where we have been. I want to keep that one on right there. I've already made the 100% extension on the hourly chart on that other one. Moving down, let's look at the 15-minute chart. 1, 2, 3 times here, 4 times up and through right now. So I'll show you what I'm looking at. See if we can get this to work correctly. Let's see what the arrow does. I don't want to do an arrow. Well, an arrow, oops, let's go back to that. So we have obviously keep grabbing the wrong thing to grab the arrow, and I keep grabbing the wrong thing. So this is actually doing something that I didn't expect yet. You see this right there. So that's called an ascending triangle. More times than not, what happens here, hit here, hit here, hit here, first time here. So there's your 15-minute chart. We'll hold that on there for now. Let's move down to the 10. Trend line holding that we had from previous time. It's amazing how that actually works. You think to yourself, right now it's holding, but doesn't mean it will. It just I was hoping for a short side trade to start the morning, but I was hoping that it would wait. I guess it was right at 8 o'clock. Alright, so we see a couple. This turns it over, by the way. These red bars are turning it over. We have a move down towards settlement, down towards pivot. missed this one. For some reason, I was thinking it was later than what it was, or earlier than what it was, so I missed this. See if it moves back into here. Alright, so let's put these red bars in, because that's going to offset volume here. 970, 949, actually 893. 336, we'll keep that one. $970 highest volume, 949. I'll come in at 8 o'clock. Need one more blue one here. Highest blue is this one right here, 483 at 801. So what do we got? We are minus 211, so we're in a tiebreaker right now. Volume has put us into a tiebreaker, 499 up or down, so we're basically sitting in what I call a tiebreaker, waiting for another volume bar to give us some indication which way to go. I usually trade the tiebreaker to the short side. So expecting a market to move back to pivot. Where can we grab it? Right now around 91. Let's go 89. So we can run the low here. 34.76 is the low. We're going to protect our entry point against that low. Alright, so that just went down 2 ticks right there. Let's see what kind of power we got right now. Alright, so let's measure a 3P move from this top right there. 3P move from here would be let's go ahead and lock in our 5 though. $35.05 high. 3P move would bring it down to $33.92. Let's call it $33.93 with a 3P move right now. So from here, a 1P move down is $34.67. Right here. 1.5P move, we had made it to pivot by the way. 1.5P move is $34.48. call it 49. Let's call it 50 today, since that's right on top of the pivot. 2p down move from here. It's got strength. It's 34.30. Alright, and the 3p move down is where we're heading, hopefully. Let's go ahead and lock in. No, we'll lock in 11. Let's go 34.48 plus, how far do we want to be from there? 25 ticks. Puts it at 74. We'll hold 73. So what do we got here? $12.19. We switched over here. This could be failure volume is what we're looking at right now. So let's see if we got, this is highest volume there, 12.19. See if it ends up being failure volume today. Let me get more. 808. So we favor the long side, 537 now. Where did that get to? 67 plus 5 is 72. It goes 71. We'll go 3 off of that. No, that's close enough. 67, 69. You know, if it gets the 69, it goes 71. So we'll hold 69. All right, this is a 2p move right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and hold underneath here. We're going to hold 48 and 15. Went to 38. So what is trailing stop is 31 behind the low. 38. 38 plus 31 is 69. That's too close. I mean, that's not close enough. Let's go 61. 48. Let's hold 50, 59. Go 11 ticks off the pivot point here. And if it does want to run today, I want to remove this 3p move. I want to see how far we can go. GAN signal is 34.31. We've already been there. We want to plug in the high though, 35.90. And the 6p move would be 33.64. 9p move is 32.50. Let's go there. We'll go, 33.33 in here. But alright, 32.50 is a 9p down move. Take a lot less, but we're just trying to capture as much as we can. Alright, 32.51. That's a 2p from there. And then we had 93, I believe, was what the other one was, right? 35.05. So 3392. Right there. Looking for extreme blow off volume to get closer. Alright, so I want to go 5 off of 48. That puts it to 53. New low at 34.33. Looking for high red bar volume here that might want to stop it. We'll trail 21 behind. Well, now what do I not want to see? Do I want to see pivot yet? Pivot probably stops the trade today. Let's go to pivot. You know what? I'm not comfortable at pivot yet. $500 on the line right now. Let's remember that, around 37. All right, let's go ahead and lock in pivot. I got 400. Not a bad first day. Let's make sure we don't have anything out there. The only way I could have hold on to this, I was looking at gold line, looking at pivot. You know, it comes down to, we made it down to 2p. We did not go 3. But if we put the high in at 35.90, what we got to figure out is how far did we crest down and how far did we go up. The low is, actually we made a new low. So we don't really have that information. We have the open. Let's pull the 10-minute chart over. And I don't think we, yeah, it went down. So this is, looks like the low might have printed right here. 35.04 before we broke through it. Little hammer action going on here, huh? I've seen some stranger things, but that would be kind of what I think could happen today. Remember that 36.12 is on the table. They drive it down to drive it up. Don't forget about that kind of crap that goes on. Take as much as we could right there and feel comfortable about it. I thought that the market might turn over around pivot. We actually, look at what we did there though. Went down. You always, in hindsight, you always find a point in the sand where the market decides to move over. We noticed that this is a Fibonacci retracement level right here as well. And here's your 200 bar on the 10-minute chart. And it turns over right there. It's hard to tell where it's going to turn over to start with, but in hindsight, you always find that turnover spot. Good news is that we're sitting up plus 40 right now. Or I am sitting up plus 40. fairly simple trade to take on today. Just taking on the lows going towards the pivot point. We played one of my favorite day trading tips. Futures day trading tips. Go back and look at it. You can find it on 123 Day Trade, by the way. And right now it's on the futures day trading tips anyway, or you can find it on YouTube. I call it pivot point magnetism. It's called PPM. There's Williams percent R, what that looks like. Break point right in here. There's your pivot point magnetism in place. Now we're trying to say it's oversold here, overbought above that way. But the only way I could hold on to this trade would be with the turtle side of it. I'd look at this break point right here, and I would give it, I'd probably be right on top of the blue line right now with this far away. I definitely want something away on the trade for the turtle side. And I'd measure how far I think this could break through here. So we would just keep it on the 200 bar coming down right now with the turtle for now. You could measure it from lowest low and go up here. You could hold your entry point. So you definitely wouldn't want to take a loss on this trade now on your turtle. So if we got in at 35, let's say we got in at 35.05, we got the high, you would want to come out around 35.03 roughly. That would be the top. And your bottom would be just following on this right there. This would be, I would recommend that you can use the turtle at 3 contracts, by the way. So if you had 3 contracts, you would end up taking 2 off around here and keep 1 on. So 2 and 2 contracts, I still recommend you take 2 off at the rabbit. After maybe you got $1,000 in gains, then you can take 1 off at the rabbit, 1 off at the hare, until you would bring your gains maybe down to 500, and then you would take 2 off at the rabbit again. Little money management tip there for you. All right, let's pause. We'll see which way this market goes right now. We're out on a Monday with plus 40. That's not a bad start for us. Moving on, day 1 and step 2. All right, so here's where you'd bring it down. Roughly here. And since it broke through here, I would be getting rid of that now. We'd just protect. We'd figure if it gets above this right here by, say, 10 ticks, put it at 77 right now. $78, somewhere around there is where you would want to hold. By the way, this is how I stop myself from taking the long side of this trade when I've taken a nice winner out. I pretend that I'm in my turtle side, and eventually if it does knock me out, it's okay. I can live with that. And then if it continues to move forward and down, then I don't worry about the things that woulda, shoulda, coulda stuff. That when you're trading one contract, the goal is to make money and move on. Use momentum. When momentum's not working for you, then you get out. Sometimes you get lucky enough to hold the right stop level, other times you don't. Did I want to lose this amount of money though if it would have continued to move up? No. Because at this point in time, when we came off this, who's to say that that didn't just go do this? It could have. This could have been the bottom of the morning, and we could go straight on up. They could have bought, they could have planned this buy period right here with all that volume you saw, and they could have drove it. Right now they're accumulating though, in my humble opinion, getting ready to drive it. Gotta look at what's going on the red side, right? These are all, the way I look at it, these are all buy points. So you got your 5 in, and they're all roughly above 1,000 right now too. That's even stronger. So they started, the buy program started coming in here, 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 here. So it's forming like this to send it like that. That's what I most likely will happen. Don't forget that that's within range today. 50% retracement. Going up there and getting it and seeing what's there. So accumulating orders to get back up to there perhaps. Maybe it sells off today. Maybe that's as far as it's going to get for a while and selling off for a bit too. Alright, pausing here. Alright, this is where I would be coming closer to the market here. I was still in it. I'd come off 5 ticks off of this. 68, be about 73. where I'd come out of the turtle side of the trade. Playing around the pivot. First time back is the most powerful one though. Then we just hang out right here. And there's a lot of junk that you can lose your money back. So I find myself standing aside an awful lot. I would say that it's the morning wind here. The reds offset the blues. So we've moved back to possibly a long, but this could be selling volume too. And it wants to seek lower. Go either way right now, honestly. As far as the red volume that we got going on here, it favors the buy side. 537 favoring the buy. But I also think this low can be a hit too. It might push lower by a few ticks and then come off of it, make a double bottom and then fly up. Looking at the 10-minute chart, I really believe we have more down available here. Getting back into here, roughly right in this area.
Okay, I'm going. Mission inspect.
Alright, so trying to make a move up here, looking at our 10-minute chart, right? Always keep your eyes on what's going on in the overall market. So there's our turtle stop up there at 73, profit stop. But we're giving up for a continuation move. This is the line that's holding right there. On the other side, what you got is this. I think if I had 50 ticks, I would take on a short right here. And I would risk 10 ticks to go to 40. But I don't really want to go 40 down to 30. I would want to be short underneath this bar right here. But I don't know. I think it's still got some upside potential left in it. Here's one. This could be 2, 3 coming like that. And something like that would be your short point. It's kind of what I would think could set up right there. Something like that. I'd have to have more of a win though to want to take on that trade though. I don't want to give this up. So let's pause here. We'll see how this works out a little bit later today. You know what? A little bit later might be right about right now. Look at that. It's making a move already. So what did we do here? Went to it and threw it by what, one tick? Right there went to 69. What side wants to win now? So what we got right now, we have 1, 2, 3 attempts here. Come back down and then break through. We have another ascending triangle down here. So accumulating, accumulating, accumulating. One more accumulation and boom, up we go. On the other side, it needs to break this line, something like that, to continue the down. Be interesting to see how it works out today. Good news is I'm sitting up 40 ticks, so I can just sit back and not worry about it. Just let the market do its thing and see what it is, what it does want to do. That's not proper English. What it does want to do, what it wants to do. All right, so 69 plus 5 right now is 74. So that's kind of the way I would hold it. I would recommend when you're first starting it and you were trading 3 contracts, I still would take 2 off the hare and 1 off at the turtle side. So you got to have some gains to start messing around with the turtle. Because you got to be comfortable with this retracement that comes and knocks you out and then goes all the way down. Because that could happen too, right? It can knock you out. It's just your best guess of how far the market's going to retrace. And you want some profit here because of time in trade, right? From 8 o'clock, we got in, I guess we get in right there, huh? So we were able to get in. I missed this part of it, but I found another place to get in. This is the one that I wanted to be in at. I don't know what was going on. I think I lost track of time there for a second. I thought it was, I looked at the clock and it was 7:55, and next thing I know, I'm thinking, why is the market moving? Oh, it was 8 o'clock. That's why. I like to be short on a Monday, and I also like to be short on a Friday at the open. So honestly, I should have been short from up here. That was my mistake. I could have had a little bit more of a win here. 30, maybe around 35. Let's call it 35.15. So I should have had a win around holding on to that, taking it down here. I should have had a win around going back up through pivot there, because that's what I'd have played. Pivot point magnetism. That would have been a 49 exit with a 17. 35.15. minus 3449. So 66, and I got 40. So I left 26 ticks on the table today by not being ready. I was ready, but I wasn't ready. Being at your trading desk is one thing, but I made a mistake here because I believed that it was only like I thought it was 757, 758, and I was doing our top down talk, and I lost track of time. That's what happened today. It did run us out right there, by the way. It's the way all right. To me, you got to be comfortable with getting out of a trade, even when it moves against you. So possible profit today, if I would have been perfect, been 35.15. If we were trading 2 today, that'd have been, if we had, let's take this a different way. Let's look at it several different ways right now. So let's say we had $1,000 gain and we traded a turtle on 2 contracts. We'd have been able to get 66 on one, and then the second one would have been right there with an exit, 35.15 less 34.74, 41. So that would have been looks like 107. Now if we had 2 contracts and only had less than $1,000 gain, we'd have had 2 off at 66. It'd be 132. Let's write this down right now. Let's get our screen draw tool out. So we have 2 contracts with 1K gain. That was 107. Less than 1K gain was 132. And then a series of 3 contracts. We'd have 2 off at 166. At 66, so we'd have 132 plus, what was that 41 on the other one? 35.15 less 34.74. Yeah, 41. So 132 plus 41 is 173. So then you could figure it out. At 6 contracts, it'd be 4 and 2. So you take that times 2, 173 times 2, be 346 times 9. 9 would be times 3. So 173 times 3 would be, that's not right, right? 173 times 3, is that right? 173 times 3, 519, yeah, 519. So there you go, 369. You would be, 9 would be 6 at rabbit, 3 at the turtle. So roughly for every 3 that you get, you add 1 more to the turtle. So 369, 3 would be 1, 6 would be 2, 9 would be 3 at the turtle, 6 at the rabbit, be 519 at 9, so it'd be a $5,000 day trading 9 contracts on 1 trade there. Not bad. Trading 3 today was a $1,700 day, building up your account. And then this is stuff that you'll have to carry forward into a futures account that didn't have a 50 tick stop loss to it. So the object right now is to trade, my object right now is just to trade 1 contract. Because you have that 50 tick stop loss at Top Step Trader. So you got to be successful trading one before you can move on. So the object right now is to get to 2K, right? We're in step 2. We already got 2K in step 1. So now we're at step 2 to get 2K, and then we'll move into what's called the pro funded account. And we can turn that 5K of that money into real dollars once we get there. Take that 5,000, we can turn it into real bucks, and then we could open up a futures account if you want to and run a little bit better without having to worry. So in other words, you don't have to follow the Top Step Trader rules. You can put the whole 5,000 in there and have a 1K stop loss, which is what I would recommend doing. But then you're rinsing and repeating, and you're coming back through again to get that 5,000 again. That's what I recommend doing. Alright, so believe it or not, my day is done. Might look at the last 30 minutes of trading. I get this one trade win. I like holding on to them a lot. I know how hard it is to make money in the markets. So you got to be comfortable with taking a one trade win. Honestly, I'd like to have that plus 50, and it should have been plus 50 if I would have been smarter today. I screwed up, and I still won the day. So just proves that you can use momentum and still win. Alright, so what we'll do, I'm going to stop this video here. We'll look at the end of day later. Maybe I'll make a short video today. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.